shall be the high-handed slayer! Khorne approves!
Welcome back, it's another Botet battle. I'm your host, Goji. Today, we're playing some Warriors of Khorne, baby. Yep, we're back at it. We're back at the Warhammer conversion mod for Medieval 2 Total War. Just doing my thing, talking my talk, walking my walk, and more importantly, back on the grind. So, a lot of stuff going on in the Goji life right now. Pandemic, school, pretty ass. Some other family trouble. So, there's been not a lot of opportunity for me to actually have a consistent uploading schedule over the course of really any period of my life at this point. But this is coming to a close, and I am going to realize my true dream of becoming the ultimate Warhammer Total War YouTuber person. Yes, this will happen. This will be achieved, and it will be achieved through the Blood God of Khorne today. My opponent is, with my ignorant American ways, I will totally butcher that fucking name, so I'm gonna go Tawangan. Yeah, we'll just call him Tawangan. And he is playing the Tomb Kings. I am bringing a rush build, so let's just go over the army comps. Spare no time for any more of the pleasantries. It is straight into bloodshed and gore from here. On my flanks, we have Fleshhounds of Khorne, which are these kind of unique better hound units for Khorne. We have Skull Crushers of Khorne on both sides, which are the Chaos Warriors riding the badass Juggernauts. A monstrous cav unit, pretty delicious at destroying infantry. Chaos Knights, your standard Chaos Knights. We all know them and love them. Same with the Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Halberds, yes, I'm sure they do have beards. They're Norskins or whatever Kurgan fucking clan they're from. Chaos Warriors with shields in the middle, and Marauder Desolators in the front as my chaff line. And speaking of chaff, which seems to be the entire Tomb King's army, no, but just the front line for sure, we see 4 skeleton warriors, and then on the flanks, 2 skeleton warriors with spears apiece. 2 mummies in the back here, just kind of vibing. We got Asp Legion Liberas, which are kind of more expensive archers. Then we have some regular archers making up the skirmish corps, and then some artillery with the Casket of Souls, which is actually a new addition in this version. This is the 2.0 Botet. In case anybody was wondering. But in the back, we have Tomb Scorpions, Skeleton Chariots, Chariot of the Gods, which come in 2 for some fucking... It's just supposed to be Cetra, but I guess he has a companion now. I'm not sure which one is Cetra, but one of them is. Skeleton Chariots on the other side, and that rounds out the build. So, obviously, the move for me is running up immediately. We might even speed it up, but I think we can get some juicy Casket of Souls shots, so that's going to be entertaining to watch, at least, as my warriors approach, smashing into some of my marauders. Better marauders than Chaos Warriors, I always say. And the Skull Crushers of Khorne and Chaos Knights are going to be chilling kind of out of range until our infantry get closer. Then we kind of do a full collapse. Tactical advice from Goji here. The halberds are taking some damage, though. There's no joke. 92 or 81 out of 92 is kind of cheeks. Not what I want. Not what I want at all. Moving up my cav, I mean, I don't know. This game is old, but some of the models are quite beautiful. So these juggernauts are just so badass. I mean, the chariots look cool. The scorpions are a little derpy, and you'll see them derping out later. They're just so ridiculous. But there's something about this mod that just feels so visceral and cool when you see models get destroyed by artillery or monsters go flying through infantry and cav hit each other. Everything feels like it has weight to it instead of kind of that more arcadey feel that the the health system and the mass for Warhammer 2 and 1 kind of give off. So I am colliding into the Skeleton Chariots with the Desolators, who are actually anti-large, but they just get routed off by the Terror. Another thing about undead factions in Medieval 2 is they're just straight up unbreakable. There's no crumbling. My front line is engaging, and my front line should win. Chaos Warriors are going to totally trounce Skeleton Warriors. They're just going to kind of be a tar pit until his skirmishers and chariots can do stuff. But his chariots are getting caught up by the Fleshhounds of Khorne. This is not a good engagement for them. Those chariots want to go riding through those Chaos Knights or my infantry, but not the special Fleshhounds who are kind of designed for taking on elephant-sized models, which are the chariots and the other special monsters. In the rear, right in the rear, those mummies better be kinky, because they just got a rear charge of the gods straight from these Chaos Knights, because they're taking some damage, but honestly, I should be pulling these Chaos Knights out. Not exactly great micro there. Goji, the king of micro, as we all know. Skeleton chariots, moving about, kind of causing some damage for sure. I mean, they're definitely fucking up my infantry, but they are getting caught up by my heavy cav force. Now, my heavy cav force can definitely be dealt with his army, but I think these skeleton chariots definitely need to get the hell out of dodge and maybe start focusing down my infantry, and then try to pull together and get all these cav out of the way, because he's just getting danced around. Not danced around. I'm dancing upon him, cat and mouse style, just chasing him down. And yeah, the mummies definitely need to be engaged. I think there needs to be a little more screening with the spearmen as well. The front line seems to be going in my favor, although it is extremely tarpety. And the derpy tomb scorpions are making their debut. I don't know if they're going to derp out for us right now, although they are just kind of waddling around. But they should be doing some work if he's clicking attack orders. Nope, they're just kind of waddling. Great. The Skull Crusher's putting in work. Chaos Warriors with halberds actually putting in some work as well. These spearmen on the sides definitely need to be kind of sent out to the cav along with the mummies, you know. But yeah, the archers are firing in, and I think he has actually gotten a few good volleys with the archers. That might be the saving grace here, right? Because I haven't really compromised the skirmishers yet. I will say those Casket of Souls, though, not accrued much value since its initial thing. And as we can see, the skeleton line is thinning, at least on that left side here. The skeleton chariots still coming in. They're trying to do some shit, but they're really not hitting their mark particularly well. Like, they're just kind of like getting some charges. I mean, as you saw when they charged the Marauder Desolators initially, they did a lot of damage and enough psychological damage to just rout them off the field entirely. Skull Crushers coming in for another rear charge. Even against spears, I mean, this is a rear charge, so it doesn't matter. But Skull Crushers just have a lot of mass and a lot of charge bonus, so they're just going to crump most infantry in this game, aside from some like heavy hitters like maybe Black Orcs or Chosen or something. Chaos Knights pretty depleted here. I think actually one knight is completely depleted unless I am blind. Nope, I think that's my only Chaos Knight unit left. So these chariots have been wreaking havoc against the cav, so they've been definitely been doing a good job of that. But I think he needs a little more support given this infantry line, because mine is crumping his. I'm finally getting on these archers, so we're not going to get just Daka to pieces now, which I think actually might have happened to the Chaos Knights too. So they're just getting a little wham bam wombo combo there. But the mummies are chasing after Skull Crushers, which is alright, but I'd kind of keep them more screening and then just countercharge when I get charged. Because countercharging sometimes actually does work in Medieval 2, at least if you want to try to inflict some damage on cavalry units. Holding braced usually actually doesn't do shit against like, it really does. Like, sometimes they'll die on the charge, and if they're pikes, they're especially die on the charge of the pikes. But other than that, countercharging to get those attack animations off, especially if you have a kind of deep infantry formation, is probably the better choice in Medieval 2, honestly. So the late game is quickly approaching us as our lines are dwindling down. As you can see, this is like, I mean, I don't know. Most Medieval 2 games are faster than like Total War Warhammer 2, but this is actually one that's probably quick. I was going to comment on like how they're slower and, you know, blah blah blah, but I mean, this is relatively the speed of like a longer lasting Total War Warhammer 2 game. The Tomb Scorpions are coming in and just chowing down on Chaos Warriors, and Chaos Warriors won't be able to really deal with them unless they get a surround and just start, you know, circle beating them with their mallets of the Chaos Gods. But Skull Crushers and Cav are just chowing down on these mummies. Mummies are, I don't know if they're a real unit at all, but they are a unit in Botet, Call of Warhammer, and they definitely pack a punch. They're like 2 HP, so they're kind of like a special, you know, chunky unit.
Mummies.
But it's still Cav in Medieval 2 and Skull Crushers, so it's like Cav plus extra. So they really had no chance, those poor mummies. R.I.P. And then the Flesh Hounds are just berserking around, which is kind of cool. They have been putting in work, and they've been actually following the targets that I wanted, even though I've maybe clicked one attack order with them before they went berserk for the rest of the match, which is hilarious. But yeah, they're kind of a risk in all honesty, but they've been putting in work. See, they just killed a Tomb Scorpion. Godlike. And yeah, so oh, see that cool little animation? See, there's a bunch of cool animations that are super revolutionary for like Medieval 2 standards. Um, in fact, there's like I'm letting in a little secret. There might be a crumbling mechanic that is getting introduced into Botet. Perhaps not for multiplayer, but I guess for campaign, there's like maybe some scripted stuff there. So, what the modability of Med 2 never ceases to amaze me. They'll never really get to the like, quality standard of Warhammer 2 in terms of just like overall polish. But goddamn, can these mod developers deliver? So I salute them. I salute you, sirs, especially you, Tom. And I think Potato is the one who's working on the crumbling mechanic. So hats off to these boys. And yeah, as you can see, I am taking a dominant stand here, and we can pretty much fast forward it because I mean, unless the skeleton chariot decides to become just Mike Tyson and just knock every single person out in one punch, you're not going to see a Tomb King's dub. It's just very unlikely. I think you all can see that hopefully with his 19 Casket of Souls crew. Yep. So let's speed it up here. We're gonna just crump them for the blood god. Even though the sad thing about fucking fighting Tomb Kings is there's no blood, none at all. Like I'm fighting for blood and skull, lots of skulls, maybe too many skulls, but like no blood. Yeah. So you can see that he deployed a much larger army, but that's just kind of Tomb King's deal. Their infantry have quite a bit of models. And we got a lot of kills. Again, I don't like looking at this kill screen, particularly for like actual analytical like representation, because the kills are not equal. Like one kill, or like I think it's like 2 or 3 kills, is like an elephant unit, and some of those elephant units are extremely strong. Like, what if it's a greater demon, like a bloodletter? Obviously, a bloodletter is not worth just 3 kills. So we can see that we did do a lot of damage with the Skull Crushers and Chaos Warriors and all this stuff. And they probably did, put in a lot of work for the infantry fight. So good on us. Along with the flesh out. Look at this one flesh out, man. Jesus Christ. One of them just got destroyed because they're probably out of place and either got shot or just crumped. One was pretty good. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Botet Battles. I will catch you probably pretty soon. I'm stockpiling a bunch of videos, so hopefully I'll be just releasing them boom, boom, boom. I don't know about daily content, but we're looking like, maybe, every other day, maybe 3 times a week on the weekdays. And then I'm thinking about streaming some other, like, kind of low-key Warhammer shit. I'm a big Warhammer niche guy, so if you're, not huge onto Warhammer, you're probably not even here. So, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'll be around, guys. Hope you have a good one, and see ya.